Okay, so I had an idea. We're going to try something new. We're going to put a sheet of paper underneath the paper that you're going to draw on. And we're doing that to create kind of a pad or a separation between the board and your paper. The reason why is because when you're shading, I feel like some of you are picking up some texture. It's not your fault because the boards have a lot of paint on them, but we want to try and prevent that from happening. Like with the cube, we are starting with the vine charcoal. We're dragging it slowly across your frame, but you are going to be going at a value 2 on your value scale. Once you've shaded with the vine charcoal, then you take your chamois or a cloth and you wipe it down. So you want to have a light gray background to work with. It is imperative that you keep your photo reference right next to the area where you're drawing. Take a moment to teach you in brief a type of technique, and it's called measuring. And you're measuring with the end of a pencil, or in this case, I'm using a paintbrush to measure, but I'm using the end of my paintbrush and I'm lining it up with the tip of the strawberry, and I'm trying to get the height. So I'm using a pincher grip there, and I'm using my fingernail to measure off the end of the strawberry, the top. So I have a measurement from the tip to the top of that strawberry, and I'm going to transfer that directly over to my paper like you're seeing there. Then I'd make a couple of tick marks, keeping my fingers in the same position, and also like considering where I want to place the strawberry, because I want to put it a little bit to the right because that's where it's positioned in the reference, and I like it there, so I'm going to put it on that right side. So now I have the height. I'm going to do the same thing in a moment with the width, but I'm first of all actually doing a angular transfer here because there is a slight angle to the strawberry. I'm just going to angle that and bring it over so I have the strawberry pitched at the correct angle because it is not vertical. It has an angle to it. Now I'm going to go back in and get the width of the strawberry. And this only works because I am trying to get the exact same height and width as what's in the photograph. You can still use this if you're trying to scale up or scale down once you have a known height or a known width. And I can show you how to do that. It's complicated, but you can do it, and I will be teaching you that later. So there's the width. You can see I've used my index finger. It's my nail on my index finger that I'm using to measure, and there's the width. And notice I got it a little bit lopsided, so I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to kick out that one on the left, that tick mark on the left, and scoot in the one on the right and double check my width measurements there to make sure that it is, for the most part, correct. Now you can see there's a height, there's a width, and there's kind of the angle of the strawberry. Now I'm going to draw the outline. And here's the goal for all of you. I want you to draw in hatched lines or kind of dashed lines, and I want you to go as light as you can. A lot of you have been going too heavy for the outline. Think of a thin line. Don't go for these thick, dark lines. Go for light, airy, and very thin. And you're going to draw at the top for the stem, there's a little oval. So that's why there's an oval there. It helps if you place that oval in the correct place and you get that oval on there. Around the oval, it's like a crown of leaves for the strawberries. It's like the center part, that oval is the sun, and then the leaves are the rays. The leaves are going to be bigger as they're closer to the viewer. On the far side, they get a little bit smaller. And one thing I like to do when I'm drawing leaves or foliage is I like to use one long continuous line, and I'm also looking at the negative space in between each leaf. It will help you. There's some complicated stuff in the leaves. I want you to try for that. I want to see all the leaves on there. I want to see some of the leaves flipped up. I want to see a leaf that's slightly twisted because that's what the image shows, and it's a challenge for you. Now I'm going to wipe off that line, and because I've gone light, it'll wipe off pretty easily, and you won't be able to see it at the end of the drawing process because I'll have shading over it and it's light. Same deal for the cast shadow. Go in little hatch marks, go super light, no heavy outlines here. I am going to very lightly outline where that form shadow is going to go. And because we're doing a strawberry, it's technically a cone. at least on the bottom half. On the top half, it's a little bit like a sphere, kind of round. And you want to think round the entire time you're shading this. You want to think, oh, okay, it's a round object. It's not flat. And we're going to give tone using the vine charcoal, but again, don't go too dark. Go for like a 3 in value or a 4. And I'm lightly shading at first, and then I'm going to go in and blend with a brush. And I'm trying to go neat. Even though I'm shading with just the vine alone, I'm still trying to be neat. Don't worry so much about value relationships when you're working on the vine charcoal. You can try a little bit. Like I got the strawberry a little bit darker than the cast shadow, which I think is true of the reference picture, but I'm not going to overly stress about it at this stage. You do want to make sure that your edges are all soft edges at this point. I'm going to be going in with a blending stump and blend the shadows that are on the leaves so they're not so harsh, and thinking about soft edges at this point. Later on, we can go in and get some hard edges. We do need to be thinking about those seeds that are on the strawberry. After you reach this stage, it's time to switch to the charcoal pencils. Put away the vine.